The cathode ray oscilloscope, CRO. Well, this is one of the questions that they like to bring in physics or science paper 1 in ECZ syllabus. So this question came in 2024. And this is Godfrey Mumbi Academy. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you do what? You subscribe and you leave a like and you share the video. Even you let us know where you are watching from. Alright, so let's look at the question. It is saying figure B8.1 shows a cathode ray oscilloscope, CRO. So this is the cathode ray oscilloscope. Okay, so I'm gonna summarize this entire device so that you'll be able to answer each and every question that they bring. So just pay attention. So the first question, actually before we even look at the questions, if you take a look at the diagram, we have the heater, we have this part B, we have the grid, the control grid, the negative part here. Then we have the positive anode, we have the Y plates, the X plate, and A. So first question is saying name the process by which the cathode rays are produced. So now let me simplify how everything goes here. So the first thing, you need to understand that what happens when you are dealing with the CRO. The goal is to produce the image, okay? Is to produce the image on this screen, which is A. So that is the goal. But how do we produce the image on the screen here? Well, it starts from here. So we have the heater. The heater is connected to the external source, okay? So the external source provides power, it provides electricity. Then it comes to the heater. This heater, the function, it is to heat part B. Now what is part B? Part B is the cathode. So the cathode is negatively charged in nature. When you hear the cathode, it is opposite to the anode. So the anode is always positive, the cathode is negative. So this part B is the cathode. They didn't ask this, but you need to know. So the heater heats up the cathode. Then the cathode produces the rays, which we call the cathode rays, okay? So the cathode rays are the beams of, it is a beam of electrons. That is automatically, okay? So once it gets heated, it will release electrons. This grid, the function is to control the amount of electrons that are going this side. So it has a small hole here, and no wonder it is negatively charged, because you understand that electrons are also negatively charged. So what happens? It will repel some electrons and allow others to pass. When they are coming, we have the anode. The function of the anode is to attract these electrons and accelerate them so that they speed up. The function of the Y plates is to deflect or to bend this electron beam up and down. If you see the way they are like this, okay? Like this. So it is to deflect up or down. So that's the function. While the X plate, it is to deflect the beam to the, so the X plate are like this, to the left or to the right. Then when they reach this part, the screen, it glows and it now forms the what? The image that we need. So that is basically what happens. And those are the questions that they will ask you. And the process by which this cathode releases the cathode ray, we call it thermionic emission, where it gets heated. After being heated, now it releases what? Electrons. So name the process by which the cathode rays are produced. It is through thermionic emission by this cathode part B. So that is our first answer. So you say thermionic emission Then the second question, state the function of the Y plates in the CRO. So like I said, the Y plate is to, the function is to deflect or to bend the electron beam or the cathode ray up and down or in the vertical direction. So B, you simply say to deflect. So this is the term, deflect the what? The cathode ray or the electron beam up and down. Then the last question here, why is the potential difference between the cathode and the anode ray, and the anode very high? So the cathode, this part B, and the anode, the potential difference between these two is very high. Why? So that electrons are attracted and are speeded up, okay, so that they are accelerated, and by that they will reach now the what? The screen, and the image that we desire will be produced. So that's the reason the potential difference is high. So to do what? To accelerate the cathode ray, the electron beam, and speed it up. So for C, you simply say to accelerate or to speed up the electron beam. As simple as that. So this is the question that came in 2024, and the entire process I explained, that's what happens under the CRO. Hope you've gotten it. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, God bless you.